It's possible on the majority of the Smeg ovens to have a pizza stone located in the base of the oven, and in fact on some of the design aesthetics it comes as standard. Now Italians are well known for their pizza, and what the pizza stone allows you to do is to create the authenticity of a traditional pizza stone oven and cook pizza within 4 to 6 minutes. So it's really simple to make a pizza yourself. Just a mixture of bread flour and pasta flour is my best recipe. And we just combine that with a bit of yeast, oil and some water. And I have my dough here already proved and ready to go. So the first stage of making the pizza, of course, is to roll it out. So we're just going to put a little bit of flour on our rolling pin and a little bit of a push, a turn, a push, and a turn, and you can see those lovely bubbles from the proving process that are in the dough. Now those bubbles are important to create that fabulous blistering effect that you'll get on the stone. So what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to roll this out to its complete circle. I'm only going to go so far. And the next stage to make sure those bubbles are maintained is just to use the weight of the pizza to allow it to stretch, so we keep that lovely blistering effect when it goes into the oven. And then finally, using the fists of your hands, not your fingers, just pull those centre bits out to create that stretch in the centre. So there's our pizza, almost ready to go. We need to drizzle it with a little bit of olive oil. And my top tip at this point is not to go all the way to the edges. And the same applies when you're putting your passata on top. Now the combination of passata and a little bit of oil is really going to help with that crispy base. And we're just going to use the back of the spoon to just take it again almost to the edges, but not always right to the edge. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. Next thing we need to do is add a little bit of parmesan. That's going to give us that saltiness that we want on the pizza. Italians are famous for their parmesan, and in fact in Smeg, we actually have our own parmesan. So check out some of those because it's really, really good. We have a 12, a 24 and a 36 age parmesan. So real foodies as well as for the appliances. So the next thing is to put a little bit of mozzarella. Notice I'm not going too mad with the toppings on my pizza. Something we're quite famous for in the UK is overloading our pizza, which means it doesn't crisp and cook the filling at the same time. Top it with a little bit of salt, not too much because there's a bit of salt in the dough already. And finally, a little bit of black pepper. Now our pizza is ready to go in the oven, and we're not going to put the meat onto it just yet. We're going to put the meat right at the very end, the true Italian way of cooking a pizza. Now what I have here is the pizza paddle, which is also another accessory. It makes it very easy for taking the pizza in and out of the oven. And whilst it's in its extended version here, it's very easy to store it with the handle flat as well. But we'll push it and lock it into place, and then we'll take the pizza off the work surface and ready to go into the oven. Any excess flour, just brush it off the sides because our stone is going to be really hot and we don't want it to burn when it goes into the oven. So we're going to place it into our oven just here. That's been preheating for quite some time. And like I said, it's going to take about 4 to 6 minutes to cook. Now, why does it take 4 to 6 minutes and only that short period of time? That's because we're using an oven temperature of 280 degrees. That's the maximum temperature of most of our Smeg ovens, which means when we put the stone that you just saw the pizza in the base of our oven, which sits in those beautiful 2 rings that we have located in the ovens, it gets up to a temperature at contact point of 350 degrees. So like I said, very close to that Italian stone-baked oven. So quickly, we'll start to see that dough rising. We'll get that blistering from the base and get that authentic pizza that we're after. Now, it's not just pizza that you can cook on the pizza stone, because actually, if you're not a fan of pizza, or we just want to get more out of the stone, we need to think about what else we can do. It's possible to use the pizza stone for other foods as well. So whether it be the bread for our pizza, we could also use that concept of actually cooking things like pita breads, or perhaps even the Indian chapati, because you've got that intensity of heat at the bottom. Now that base heat is critical for some other foods because you can cook quiches and flans. Now normally you would blind bake the pastry case first before putting it into the oven, but in fact you can put the raw pastry and raw filling together and get that crispy base. So no soggy bottoms to the bottom of our quiches. You can take it a step further. You could use it for mince pies. You could in fact use it for cookies. It gives you that lovely crisp base. And then finally, why not consider it for actually putting casseroles or slow cooked braising? When we put it on the hob, we get that lovely caramelization from the bottom, but we can get both, best of both worlds, that oven baked moisture and of course the heat from the base. So the pizza stone is incredibly versatile. Don't just think about it for pizzas, but think of all these other foods that you can do too. So 4 minutes into that 4 to 6 minute cook time, we've really got some good bubbling going on our pizza. So let's take a look. Wow, look, that lovely bubbling, that golden finish, and this is the perfect time to add the meat. Not too long that it crisps, but enough time just to warm it through, just the way the Italians do it. So I've got some beautiful Parma ham here that I'm going to pop on the top of my pizza. And like I say, just a couple of minutes to finish off the pizza to its complete result. Right, let's check this pizza out. So again, use the paddle just to take it off the stone. And although this is hot, I'm going to show you how crisp that base is. Fabulous. So the final touches to the pizza is a little drizzle of oil, a little bit of fresh basil on the top, and then listen to this crunch. If you're not inclined to cook a pizza from fresh, you can absolutely use the stone for a frozen pizza or even a part-baked pizza. You'll get very similar results, but get that really crisp base by using the stone instead of just baking it in the oven.